basically the story.
Hello, everybody. We're back to talk about the music, animation, and production value of Overlord Season 2. And probably, in the particular, our conversation will lend a lot towards the comparison between Season 1 and Season 2, I'd be willing to bet.
I mean, it's been so long since I've seen Season 1. I don't know if I could quite do a comparison.
Well, here, I'll make a comparison and an opinion statement right now. Overlord Season 1 opening was better than Overlord Season 2 opening.
100% agreed. I gotta say, I actually, comparatively though, I actually really like the Overlord Season 2 ending. I think it fits really well for where a lot of the episodes ended.
Yes, this is where I have to agree. So, being the apparent opener and ending analysis, sir, that I have been for many of the recent animes.
I mean, it has been a bit of a character arc of his.
Yeah. Fantastic. I'm getting character development in the progress of the series.
Look, we always love to see personal growth.
Yes. Yeah. So one thing I do, so while I don't think the song choice is as good as, like, say, the Season 1 song choice, I do kind of like this one, at least as far as the opening is concerned, in that it feels a bit more kind of like Ainz's group is kind of striding along, like, through the series. They're more sure of themselves as the group, whereas with the first season opening, they were more uncertain with everything because it was new for them. So this one feels a bit more, it has a bit more forward momentum to that, and the song kind of fits that theme, I think.
Yeah, I think in addition to that, so the Season 2 opening is more stable.
Yes.
Than the Season 1 opening was like, hit it out of the park, super unexpected, amazing song. It like set the tone for watching the anime.
Right.
But this opening is good and it's steady.
Yeah.
It definitely fits, because I think, and we'll get into, I'm sure I'll get into this more in the story section. This season is a little bit darker than the first season as far as like,
and it's a little bit more
portrayal of the characters, and I think the opening fits that.
And it's a little bit more almost like world building and questy. Than the first season. Like, there's a lot more development of like deeper bits and more exploration, and I think in that way the opening song does reflect that it's less of kind of a grand slam, hit it out of the park, and more of just like that steady adventuring kind of moving through and keeping a good opening, but it doesn't need to be hit it out of the park like the first season was. It just needs to be steady.
Right. Because now basically what we're getting into is Ainz, what he wants to see from this, I guess, is getting a little off topic. So I'll save it a little bit. I'll keep it a little short. But basically, Ainz wants to essentially test his teammates and see if they can develop beyond their normal limit. So that's kind of the basis for this, and that's why it feels a little bit more, like you said, questy and adventuring.
Yeah, it's more like the montage of leveling up. Mm-hmm. Than it is the opening of the game, that kind of thing.
Something I want to comment on as far as the animation goes, I guess, is I didn't notice too much 3D animation in Season 1. Season 2, they're starting to use a bit more 3D animation. At times it works, but at times it looks pretty shit. But it has not been too bad yet, I don't think.
I think Season 3 is honestly the worst offender in its usage of 3D animation, so I don't think we're quite there yet.
I think as far as this season goes, it does it well enough, with just one or two exceptions here where it really shows.
Yeah, there weren't any moments where I just looked at the screen and I was just like, that looked wrong.
I think the worst CG animation from what I remember the season is there's a part where they have a bit of a Hydra monster thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that thing looks... I love the character, but that thing looks awful.
Yeah. But I think in general we can probably say, excluding 3D animation, the animation is marginally better than Season 1, obviously because it came out later. It had a little bit more funding now that it's a Season 2, etc., etc. So there's marginal improvements on animation quality, enough to notice, but not enough for it to be amazing.
I mean, I've seen the animation since later seasons and early seasons. A later season does not mean better funding.
That is true, but also you are using an outlier example. We don't count the outliers in the range.
Yeah.
My statistics professor taught me that we drop those from the averaging.
They're outliers are outliers for a reason.
We just ignore those pesky contradictions to our theory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh, I do actually like to say this. The opening and the ED bands for first season actually got switched this season.
Yes, that is something I remember they do between seasons. They switch back and forth. I'm actually a little bit curious because season 4 has been announced at the point of recording this.
Yeah.
The band that I don't remember if they're scheduled to do the opening or the ending for that season.
Yeah.
They've actually broken up from what I understand, or at least their lead singer has changed.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I mean, it doesn't
Not
really
that it matters too much for this season.
Yeah.
Just an interesting thing I wanted to say on that note.
Yeah. Well, was it Myth and Roid or was it?
Yeah, Myth and Roid.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I was wondering, I thought it was going to be the other band. I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but
was Myth and Roid the first opening?
Myth and Roid.
Yes,
okay.
They were first one.
Okay.
They did the ending for this season. They do the opening for season 3.
So they're
ending season 4.
Okay.
Yeah, they're with LLL is going to be the name of the song.
Okay.
And then the opening will be done by OXT.
Okay, so so I think that's the same. Yeah, that's the same.
That's people who are scheduled to do the opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think with that being said, there's not. It's always a little odd when we're talking about a show that we've already seen part of for animation, because unless it's, for example, a show like Shaman King or Fruits Basket, where we're talking about we saw the original and now the reboot, and there's a massive change. There's never really a massive change unless there's a significant amount of time between seasons.
Overlord seasons, though, just Overlord in particular. Between seasons, they do have different usages of CG, which is the big dividing factor between the seasons, I think.
But I think another part of that is because it's being Overlord is being made in an age where we're including more and more CG and 3D into anime.
But I think the 3 currently out seasons in particular do it to varying degrees of success. Which is worth noting.
I think that's the thing, as I appreciate the movement towards CG and 3D and that kind of thing. But it can really be hit or miss
sometimes
in the show.
Like for every Demon Slayer where it's practically non-noticeable,
and when you do notice it, it's beautiful.
There's also an X arm.
Because where you notice it most in Demon Slayer is in the attacks and that kind of thing, and sometimes the monsters. But yeah, I understand that. So. I mean, we're all pretty happy with the opening and the ending and the animation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite of the Overlord openings, but it's by no means a bad opening at all.
Yeah, I mean, this show is maintaining a level of quality so far that we are very pleased with.
Like they have an all-star cast when it comes to their music.
Yeah, like I love the opening and EDs of this show. So we'll be back next week with Story. I've been corrected. See you then. Try harder, everyone.